What is going on, everyone? Well, welcome back to another unplanned Level 1 podcast. Why are we doing a Level 1 podcast today when normally we were just going to do a morning show? Well, it's pretty simple. A lot's happened. Yesterday, I had a chaotic and rage-filled Street Fighter 6 stream, and I want to let you know how it really went because it went way differently than I even thought. But in addition to that, there was a bunch of game stuff announced today, including Tokyo Scramble, a new dinosaur survival game exclusively on the Switch 2. Who saw that one coming? Or how about a brand new game set in the Horizon universe that no one knew about until this morning? Plus, there's a movie based on a game that we had recently played, and it's pretty much like the last thing I would have thought ever would have been made into a movie. So, we got a lot to talk about. I'm sure there's going to be even more because apparently there was a lot of like digital events and things that took place this morning, bizarrely, on a random Thursday. Don't ask me why, but hey, if it happens, let's cover it, right? Now, of course, today is still a new release day. I'm still covering Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, so don't worry about that. It's still happening, but it's just that there's so much to do. I want to cover it before we get to the gameplay. However, I am going to make an effort to make this a shorter show so that it doesn't overrun into what the 3+ hours were going to be of Dragon Quest VII. So, it's going to be a good one, folks. Out of nowhere, coming in hot and fast, it's time for a very special React-filled edition of the Level 1 podcast. Alrighty, everybody. Good morning and welcome to the show. It is time for the Level 1 podcast for Thursday, the 5th of February, 2026. Again, unscripted, unplanned, but when stuff happens in the gaming universe, I take action. And today we got a lot going on, so I want to cover it because I'm not going to do another podcast till Sunday. You know, tomorrow is our big February gaming marathon. So allow me to get this plug out of the way before we get to all of our topics for today's show. So tomorrow, there will not be a podcast. There won't even be a morning show. It's going to be DSP's February Gaming Marathon. Now, normally when I do a marathon, it's themed towards one particular thing, whether we're playing a certain style of game, or maybe it's a holiday, etc. In this case, it couldn't be further from the truth. Tomorrow, we are going to do a wide variety of games based on your feedback. Over the last couple of days, I've been doing these random tryout streams and indie game streams, taking in your suggestions of games that I should possibly try out in the near future. We have a listing of something like 10 to 15 games, and what we're going to do tomorrow, over the course of a marathon setting, starting around the usual time in the morning and going all the way to like maybe 8 to 10 p.m. at night, depending on time and what games we play, I'm going to be playing a ton of games, okay? A series of polls will be held over the course of the day. You will vote on said polls here live on stream to determine what games we actually try out. And just to give you a general idea of some of the games that you guys have nominated, it's all over the place. How about long-running games that I've never checked out, such as, for example, DayZ? Or what about Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord? Okay, what about a pertinent game like Iron Lung, which ties in with the movie that Markiplier just put out? How about some of the other Fears to Fathom horror games? We've checked out 2 of those games, but there's many more. What about Deadlock, the new game from Valve that's invite only, and I have the invite? But what about some other games that have been out that I kind of missed out on, like Marvel Cosmic Invasion, Total Chaos, Pacific Drive? I could go on. I mean, there's a good variety of stuff there. So what we will do is have you guys vote over the course of the day on many different polls, and we're just going to jump in and try all of these games. I think it's going to be great. Now, also, to tie in with the Super Bowl, which takes place on this coming Sunday, I'll be wearing some NFL jerseys. We're going to have the Seattle Seahawks color scheme in the background all day long to celebrate the fact that my local NFL team will be at the Super Bowl. Also, there's going to be food and booze. I'm actually going to be drinking all day long, and I've got a bunch of different stuff. I got a couple different like whiskey mixers to try. I've still got those cut waters. We've still got the peppermint liquor from back at Christmas I could still drink some of. So we've got various things that I'll be partaking in over the course of the day to keep the buzz alive. And my wife and I are going to be ordering out some food during the day as well. So it's going to be a really fun, awesome day-long stream of content, gaming, and basically the goal is to have some chill fun with the audience all day long, but also to perhaps find some more games, hidden gems, and things that I would want to do in the future as a playthrough. So it should be an absolutely great day, and if you can make it tomorrow, I certainly hope that you will join me for the marathon, which will be going on all day long here on the channel. Excellent. All right, let's quickly say good morning here to everyone, and then let's jump right into our topics, because like I said, I don't want this stream to go too long, because I want to jump into Dragon Quest VII Reimagined and still get around 3 hours of gameplay in here today, okay? Okay, so, who do we have? First of all, let me get rid of the idiot spamming with his sock accounts. Good morning to everyone. Who do we got? We got Apollo. We have the Purple Code, Chris, Remix, Puck Wudgie, what a name. Cody Jones, how you doing? Who else do we got here today? You're Not Funny, Dungeon Keeper's Mistress, and Zelocity, Rose Diamonds, Banana Jose, John. Does this look normal? Good morning, everybody. On the kick side, who do we got? Brandonson, Power Augmentation. Oh, I like that name. Ape Interface, Thundercat Clan Wood, Bizarre Pronunciation, Eddie Chill, Lance Catamaran is here and actually just did a 100 kick. He's kicking way early. So thank you for that, Lance. In fact, let's get that up on the leaderboard before I forget to put it up there, because I will. Let's get Lance up there with the first 100 kicks of the day. Thank you, Lance. I appreciate that very much. So let's see here. So there was a $5 super chat from a troll who still thinks I play WWE Champions, which I don't. I've already told you guys I quit that game. I do play some other mobile games. Admittedly, I do. Very casually. Every once in a while, I'll drop a few bucks on them. But it's nothing to speak of, and it's none of anyone's business, and it never will be. So, thanks for $5. Maybe I will drop that on a mobile game today. And that's my prerogative if I do, because that's now my money. Thank you for the contribution. All right. Cool. What's up, Indead? How you doing? Chaos Goblins, how you doing? Tanner. Who else is here? Space Jam fans here. Clay JT. Stewart is here today. Good morning. It's a me. Him is here. Shooting Stars Rock. Good morning to everyone. I wish I could say hello to everyone, but we've got a lot to cover today on the show. All right. In fact, wow. I just received a generous contribution. $50 tip just rolled in way early. Thank you so very much. Let's get a nice animation here. Hold on, because I wasn't set up for tips. Here we go. $50 tip. The person specifically requests they wish to remain anonymous. Thank you so much. Here's what they have to say. How's it going? I'm looking forward to the stream. I never played a Dragon Quest game before. Which one would you recommend if someone's trying to start playing the series, and which is your favorite? Have a great stream. The Dragon Quest series is very long running. I mean, I think I almost positive it started on the NES, correct? The Nintendo Entertainment System, or the Famicom. So, I mean, you can start at pretty much anywhere you want. The original ones in the United States were called Dragon Warrior. And I played, actually, the original Dragon Warrior on NES because my cousin owned it, and I played it a little bit. That was the very first turn-based RPG I ever had exposure to way back in the day. I mean, when I was really, really young. The first Dragon Quest game that I actually, like, purchased and owned was when they started porting them later on to the Game Boy Advance. And I played, I want to say it was like Dragon Quest 3, 4, 5, or 4, 5, 6, something like that. Whatever. There was like a trilogy of them that they released on the Game Boy Advance / early Nintendo DS. And that's really when I started playing them and getting into them and really liking them. It has that Toriyama art style like Dragon Ball, but it has great writing and great turn-based combat. Similar to Final Fantasy, they don't tie into each other, meaning you can start or stop at any point in the series, and they're all isolated stories, so you can't screw up by starting with a later title instead of an earlier one, okay? I mean, honestly, if you wanted to jump into the series, I would say just play the latest one, which is Dragon Quest XI. That game is absolutely amazing when it comes to the story, the amount of content, the attention to detail, everything. If you like Toriyama art, and if you like turn-based combat, you're going to love that game. A lot of people don't like turn-based combat because they find it boring. I don't. I grew up playing those kind of games. So for me, the game was an absolute treat. And actually, to this day, my Dragon Quest XI playthrough was actually one of my favorite playthroughs I've ever done on DSPGaming in my entire run on YouTube. Because we had great interactions on the stream, great, hanging out sessions, talking while we were also enjoying the game. The game itself is double long. And what I mean by that is it has an original plot that lasts around 40 hours. And then the game has a second quest that continues past the credits roll. That's like another 30 hours. So the game is so long for the value for the dollar is outstanding. There's all kinds of hidden post-game content, super bosses, all kinds of great stuff. It's a really, really great game. I recommend it. What's my favorite of all time? Hard to say because a lot of them I only played like once. So it's hard to remember all of the plots in my head. I remember the original Dragon Quest actually had a time. No, that was Final Fantasy that had the time loop mechanic. The one that stands out to me is there was a one that had other dimensions. And you could go through these dimensional gates and there was another version of the world. And I remember liking that. But it's been so long since I played that one that I just don't remember it too well. But I remember liking that one a lot. But obviously, Dragon Quest XI is amazing. There's a lot of them I never played. I never played 7, and that's what we're playing today. I never played 8. There's a few of them that I never, touched upon, and maybe I'll check them out eventually. Now, just as a one-off, a 222G over on Kick is asking me, where do I rank Lost Odyssey in RPG history? Way up there. Lost Odyssey is a game made by Mistwalker Studios, which was a collaboration between people who had worked on games like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest in the past. And they made a few different games, including Lost Odyssey, Blue Dragon, and I think there was another one they made too. Lost Odyssey, for the time frame, it came out only on the Xbox 360. It is incredibly underrated, okay? It is just as good as a Dragon Quest game. It's just as good as any Final Fantasy. The graphics for the time were groundbreaking. The story was written incredibly well. The characters all had their own unique side stories, almost like an anime or manga, okay? The gameplay was just as complex and complicated and difficult as Clair Obscur. In fact, the devs of Clair Obscur actually cited Lost Odyssey as one of their major influences when making their game. So if you haven't played Lost Odyssey, you got to check it out. It is way up there for me. And it's always been one of my bucket list items that eventually one day I want to do a playthrough with you guys of Lost Odyssey. I just never got around to it. So hopefully one day we'll be able to do that. I know for a fact it's available to play on Xbox consoles. But I don't know if they ever ported it to PC, did they? I don't think they did. So I would basically have to get an Xbox console hooked up again, I think. Because I don't think you can play it on PC at all. I'm going to look through the Xbox app right now, but I don't think it's on there. Yeah, no. So it's console only. And that's just so weird, isn't it? That it's console only. And they never really did anything to try to port it so that a wider audience could play it. So no one who owns a PlayStation and no one who's a PC gamer ever could play it. I guess one day maybe we'll have to figure that out. I do still have my Xbox Series X, but it's downstairs in the living room, and my wife uses it from time to time. Maybe we'd have to bring it back to play Lost Odyssey eventually. I don't know. All right, well, thank you so much for the $50 contribution this early. That is absolutely amazing. Hold on. Excuse me. Someone tipped $1.97. Don't ask me why they tip $1.97. I literally don't know. They're supposed to be the same person because they've done it 2-3 days in a row. Saying, I appreciate you staying out of drama and focusing on games, keeping a cool head, focusing on the future. I'm looking forward to DayZ because I'm a huge fan of that game. Go Seahawks. All right, thank you so very much. I guess we'll just count it as $2. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and round up to 3 cents. There you go. Okay. So thank you guys for the early support. By all means today, please support this podcast, which is an impromptu podcast that wasn't originally planned. We've got a lot to cover in a shorter period of time, so please allow me to move forward now and start talking on some of the big topics that we want to talk about, okay? So, here we go. Yesterday was my Street Fighter 6 Sagat stream. The whole goal of yesterday was to play Sagat's ranked placement matches and to essentially get him to master. It definitely didn't go as planned whatsoever, all right? As you know, I've only used Sagat for about a week, so I have way less experience with this character than I have with anyone else that I've used in the game. All the other characters I was using from, like, launch, and this is a character that, you know, just came out, like, what, last year? And I've only used him for a few sessions, okay? Admittedly, I know I'm not that good with him, and I know that I definitely need a lot more experience and matchup knowledge. That's really primarily the thing, is I just don't have a lot of matchup knowledge against, like, half the cast, because almost no one uses half the cast anymore. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Since I've been back to Street Fighter 6, I haven't fought a single E Honda. Nope. I think I fought just 2 Minoes. You know, like, there's entire characters that are being ignored in the game because people are like, oh, they're not top tier, I don't play them anymore. You know, so it's kind of crazy. And with Sagat, I just don't know how to fight against certain characters. Like, I fought a Sea Viper. They were doing stuff, I was like, I didn't even know she had those special moves. What the hell is that? And of course, I got dominated. I don't know what was going on. You know? So, how did it actually go yesterday? Okay? I thought the entire session was an absolute miserable failure. I was raging. It was 86 degrees Fahrenheit in this office. So I was sweating and I was upset. And I just was like, I did an hour of practice and I felt like I got slapped around and bullied. And then I went to my ranked placements and I failed. And I ended up in low diamond. And then I couldn't even get a string of wins to accelerate my progress to master. So here I am at the end of the day. And I'm feeling so defeated. I'm feeling like I failed, and I was like, you know, I just need a break from Sagat. This is not working. I'd like to go back and play with the other characters that I know much better and have more experience with and all of that. And then someone sent me the stats. They were like, here's actually how you did, okay? When I was doing the casual matches before I went to ranked, I had 14 wins and 19 losses, so way more losses than wins. But there were 2 people who I kept rematching because I was trying to learn matchups. There was an Elena who was very good with Elena and was smurfing. What does that mean? It means that they have a low rank, but they're actually much better than their rank, and they're doing it on purpose, probably, to try to either stream snipe me or maybe just to get practice in, who knows? But it was a 1-star Elena, a 1-star silver Elena, yet they knew 70% combos, they knew all these strategies. I was like, there's no way that this is a silver Elena. They know what they're doing. So I purposely kept rematching this Elena to try to learn the matchup because that was the only person I'd ever fought who ever knew what they were doing with Elena, and I wanted to get the experience in. So that was like a good 5-6 losses that I basically handed myself to because I wanted to learn. And then there was another character title. Was it a Sea Viper? There were 2 different characters who I kept rematching because I wanted to learn the matchup because I wasn't in the ranked matches yet. So even though it was 14 and 19, if I had just done regular sets of 2 out of 3, likely it would have been a lot closer to breaking even, okay? Not to say that that's a cope or whatever. I lost more than I won, and that's that. Now, when I actually went to ranked matches, my placement matches sucked. I got a clean 5-5 split. But if you actually look at the placement matches, some of them are just ridiculous. Like, I'm blatantly dominating and winning, and then all of a sudden, oh, wrong move comes out in the middle of a combo. And the person says, oh, okay, I punished 70%. Oh, I win the match now. The fuck? And that's the problem with Street Fighter 6. It is far too scrub-friendly. There's far too many chances just because you have a level 3 superstore to get like a 60% comeback combo based off of one mistake. And the game doesn't play well online. So because of that, anyone can have a chance at a comeback. And it ended up happening multiple times during my ranked placements where all of a sudden, boom, something drops that's critical. I go for an uppercut, I get a standing medium punch, and they get a full jump-in combo that's 60-70% damage. That's really fair. So anyway, basically my placement matches tanked. But overall, listen to this. When I actually started playing ranked with Sagat, I had 27 wins and only 14 losses. That's a 66% win rate. Did you realize that? I didn't. I thought I did terrible. I thought legit I was playing horribly, and I probably had lost way more than I won. In reality, I won way more than I lost. And even if you tally that together with my casual matches, I still had 41 wins and 33 losses, so I won way more than I lost. So there you go. Again, did it seem like that? No. And I think it's because the hope was that I was going to do really well in my ranked placement matches and get either to high diamond or master. And when you're starting at the bottom, it feels like you lost, right? Now, the good news is with the way that they have actually built Street Fighter 6 now and updated the game, if you get a 10 win streak, they give you a ridiculously inflated number of points, and you basically jump an entire star level. So if I can get 10 wins with Sagat at any point, I don't have to grind through these lower levels of diamond to get to master. I'll be able to just turbo ahead. And in fact, when we ended the stream, I think I was at like 5 wins or 6 wins or something like that. So very well, next time I play with Sagat, I might actually just get him right to master within a few matches, okay? But yeah, it was very frustrating. It was very annoying. It was very stressful, very rage-inducing, again, because it was not comfortable in this room. It was very hot, and I played poorly for the most part, but half of that, I'm sorry, I'm not going to take the blame for when I'm blatantly doing things I've done a zillion times. The same exact combo I've done a million times. This time, the uppercut comes out way later. I did the same fucking timing. How could the uppercut come out way later? Oh, look, I just want to do a medium punch uppercut to anti-air them. Standing medium. Oh, they get a giant 60% combo. I don't want to play this anymore. If it happens once or twice, it's like big deal. When it happens 10 to 20 times during a session, you just don't want to play the game anymore. So I'm not going to until next week. And when I play it next week, I'm not going to use Sagat. I'll tell you right now, I'm taking a break from this goddamn character, because if the character is so execution required heavy, then I don't want to fuck around and get pissed off all the time when I play this game. So when I play next week, I'm going to probably play with Dalsim, who, not to say that he doesn't need execution, but he's a definite different kind of character. He is a ranged character, okay? He is someone who very much can play keep away, poke you, zone you with his fireballs. He plays very differently, and it's very entertaining because of that. It's different than the entire get one hit rush down the entire game, which is how most people play the game. When Dalsim's in the you know, the scene, it's a completely different game, and I like that a lot, okay? That's one of the things that I've always loved about Street Fighter over the years, is that if it's a well-designed Street Fighter game, then basically you can play it any way you want. You don't have to play only one style, and that's the problem with these top tiers in these games that are being abused. They all play exactly the same. Dalsim doesn't. He plays completely differently. So we're going to do Dalsim next. It'll probably be ranked matches. I'll probably warm up with some casual first and then go to ranked. So Dalsim will be next, and then after that, maybe Blanca, because I only played with Blanca like an hour or two since I returned. My hair's sticking up right here. Look. There's like one little spot of hair. That's weird. Whatever. Unless I get like water, it's not going to stay down, I guess. Yeah, next week will be a lot different. Finally taking a break from Sagat, hallelujah. And no, I'm not playing with any new characters. Like, I have no plans to use a new character again. Maybe when Alex comes out in March, I'll give him a shot. Maybe not. I just want to focus on the characters I like, I know what I'm doing, and I want to get better with, rather than fucking around with these characters that I don't know, and then I get frustrated and I don't like the game. So there you go. Okay. So, that was Street Fighter 6 yesterday. This morning, all of a sudden, a whole bunch of stuff happened. So I'd like to react to quite a few things here that were announced and or happened. So just to show you guys, there's a new game that's going to be coming out very soon, exclusively on the Nintendo Switch 2. Okay? And that kind of throws me for a loop. Guess what? It comes out on February 11th. Yes, next week. Out of nowhere, a Switch 2 exclusive that had not been announced before. Huh? So as you can see, it's called Tokyo Scramble. You might say, well, what the hell is Tokyo Scramble? You want to find out? Let's go. Let's see what Tokyo Scramble actually is right now. Here we go.
What the heck just happened? You've got to be kidding me. What is that thing? Subway Sesame, huh? Maybe this is just what I need. Hey, that's almost like a treadmill. Time to get your steps in. I know this the right time, but I'm sure now nothing can fall down. There is no bright line. I'll ensure that no one can bring me down. Though this might.
Are they seriously combining survival horror with dinosaurs in modern Tokyo with a teen angst storyline? Is that what they've done? What is going on? Look, that dinosaur is running. It's like a treadmill. He's getting his steps in. It's a fucking dinosaur. It's going to eat you. You're making jokes? What is this song? If I was about to tell you right now, guys, I'm going to reveal to you a dinosaur survival horror game, would you expect that this would be the song I'd be playing when I showed it to you? What is going on?
It's the right time, and I'm sure that no one can stop me. I know those the right time.
What the fuck is this?
Standing strong in this life.
What is going on? There's fucking dinosaurs. Dinosaurs. Why are you staring at a billboard of like some teeny bopper shit and getting in a fucking daze? What is happening? Oh my God. What is going on? What is this? That might be the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. What the hell was that? I mean, yeah, someone just apologizes. At least it's not full price. It's $30 digital only on Switch 2, and it comes out next week. Do you want me to play that next week? I mean, that is freaking bizarre. What? And they didn't even announce it till today. Today is the 5th. So you don't even have a week. And this game is out. Are you foaming at the mouth? Are you chomping at the bit to play Tokyo Scramble, everybody? I can't wait. I don't know what's the best part. The death-defying, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat survival horror action, or humming along to some weird J-pop song. Well, here's the thing. Next week, there's a couple new games, all right? One of them is a horror game called Crystal or something like that. That one I'm interested in. I would leave it open if you guys want to see me play Tokyo Scramble and see what it is. I'm not opposed to it. But at the same time, I don't think this is going to be a very long playthrough, if you know what I'm saying. This might be one of those, let's just taste it and then spit it back out kind of situations. Okay? Just saying. Okay? So, wow. Tokyo Scramble, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah. In 6 days. Like, holy shit. Okay, then. Oops. There we go. So, To be honest, I had no idea what that was. I seriously had no clue that's what it was. So, I don't know. Tokyo Scramble next week. I'll put that on the schedule, but I'll leave it into your hands to decide if you think that's something I should be playing next week or not. Is there... Oh, my God. Gee, I wonder why they waited till the last minute to announce that game. I can't imagine why, right? Okay. Oy, oy, oy. Okay. So, let's continue, shall we? Okay, up next, we've got another game that I didn't know existed because they didn't announce it until, like, out of nowhere. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I received a $4.20 tip. So, hold on. Let's do this first. Let's do the 420 alert. Ready? Yeah, mom. Thank you for the support, mom. So what do they say? This is from the Tokyo Scramble developers. They just contacted me via this 420 tip. They say, thank you, Phil Sama, for featuring our game on your podcast as we have discussed. Please accept the payment as agreed. We'll be watching to ensure you stream our title on your channel. Please understand and thank you. Well, all I know is they must have been smoking something over there when they made that game. Holy shit. Thank you for the 420 tip. Tokyo Scramble game developers. You guys are awesome. Thank you for that. Okay. Hui. Okay. We can move on. All right. The next thing that I want to react to today, all right, is a game that no one knew existed. Now, this is a 10-minute announcement trailer. I'm not going to watch the whole thing. I'm going to skim through it. But basically, in a nutshell, Guerrilla Games, the makers of Horizon, okay, have made a new game using the world of Horizon. However, it is not what you think. It is not an actual Horizon game where it's RPG open world combat. Let me show you, all right? This is a little different than what you would expect, and I'm curious what everyone's thoughts will be once we take a look at it. Now, like I said, it's about 10 minutes long. I'm not going to watch the whole thing. What I'd like to do is just kind of skim through it.
Hi everyone, I'm Jan-Bart van Beek. I'm the studio director here at Guerrilla. Now at Guerrilla, we love exploring the Horizon universe. And with every new project, we ask ourselves, where can we take our players next? What new stories can we tell? And what new experiences can we create?
So we decided to just forego all that and just make a spin-off game that has gameplay elements of our game, but is not telling any story.
And we heard many of you wondering, but what is Guerrilla working on? And today, we get to show you. Before we dive in, I want to be very clear about one thing. We absolutely love making single-player games, and we're going to keep making them. They're a huge part of who we are as a studio. But next to that, we also had this long-standing dream to try to do something different. Our own take on how you can explore the world of Horizon together as a team of machine hunters. It's something new, it stands on its own, but it's also still very much Horizon. Let's take a look at how this new journey begins.
Okay.
From the ashes of the old world.
Immediately you look, you're like, this doesn't look like Horizon. This looks like a cartoon or something. Look at the art style, right?
Came machines. For ages, they were the guardians of the natural world. And they turned against us. Now, they're getting deadlier. By the day. All across the land, people are...
So it's Fortnite, the art style, at least, right? It totally is Fortnite, 100%. They just Fortnited Horizon. They blatantly copied the art style of some game because they wanted people to associate, oh, this is like Fortnite Horizon now, right?
dying. That's why our leader gave me this command. We have to fight back. And to do that,
The art style is, look at this, just pausing it, right? It's totally, all right, maybe Overwatch as well. It's Fortnite and Overwatch, but that's the art style they're going for. Well, I don't know why they changed the art style. Like, wasn't the Horizon art style good? I thought Horizon was a very good-looking game and universe. Like, why did they change the style for this game?
And mercenaries. Frosted.
That doesn't look very realistic. Look at this. We needed to be sure to have every body type included. We must have every single type of person possible in the game for maximum inclusion. Next will be someone in a wheelchair.
Now and then.
No, there better actually not be someone in a wheelchair. I didn't watch this yet. If there's someone in a wheelchair next, I'm going to be like, what the fuck?
Infiltrators. Who hide in the dark.
A female ninja? Is it a little too soon? It's only been a year. Remember Assassin's Creed Shadows? They put a female ninja in the game? Oh boy. They did.
And champions. Who shine in the light.
And champions with full armband tattoos taken straight off of Reddit.
Upstarts. Whose stories are just beginning.
Rejects from a Disney movie that no one wanted to see, so they canceled it.
And legends. Looking for one last shot.
No, it totally is it's Overwatch, Fortnite, right? Like, look at the art style, and now these are like the heroes of Overwatch. That's exactly what it is.
The last line of defense. For those who need it most. Made up of the greatest hunters in the land. This is Hunter's Gathering.
So yes, we're going with a very different look here, and that's very much by design. Horizon Hunter's Gathering is a very dynamic co-op action game. We've tuned the combat so it works really well for a team of hunters, and we believe that works best when supported by an art style that really matches that energy.
No. You're doing this because your graphics engine can't handle co-op. We're not stupid. Horizon is an incredibly detailed world, right? Insanely good graphics on PlayStation 5. You can't do co-op. You probably tried it, and it just wasn't handling it. So you said, fuck, let's dumb down the graphics so we can actually do a co-op game online. I don't know why these game devs try to act like this shit. Like, why can't you just be honest? Like, we know why it's cartoony, because you tried to do it with your very good-looking game engine. It doesn't work. So you said, let's make a cartoony game instead. There's literally no other reason you would ever change the art style of your universe when it looks so good. All right, so combat.
Combat is at the core of Hunter's Gathering. It is tactical, reactive, and skill-based. We took the precision and tactical depth of Horizon's combat and built it for a team environment. You'll have to read enemy movements, time your attacks, and combine abilities with your squad to take down the most powerful machines.
So it almost looks like it's an action-based MMO, like Monster Hunter. Or, you know what this reminds me of too? Night Rain from last year. So what it is they saw, basically the studio needed another game, right? They weren't going to wait to make another giant Horizon game because they take a long time to make because the giant world and everything. So they're probably working on that. And they probably said, well, we made a good amount of money on our previous games. Let's expand our team or have a split off group, to work on another kind of game. And what's all the rage right now? These co-op action games, right? They are. All these co-op action games are doing well. So they said, let's just make one in our universe. But they knew that they couldn't do it in the Horizon engine. It never was going to run. Especially, or keep in mind, I guarantee you this game will be on like Switch 2. It'll be on everything, right? Like they'll try to port it to everything. It's not just going to be like a PlayStation exclusive, I bet. So because of that, they're trying to make it so that it'll run on anything. So they dumbed down the graphics. The gameplay elements look interesting because it looks like it is kind of like Monster Hunter. But if you're using the elemental weaknesses and the targeted attacks at weak points of certain enemies, then that could be more Horizon-esque. I'm not opposed to the game at all. I'm just hoping it's not like, oh, it's just like Monster Hunter or it's just like Night Rain or whatever. We want something that has an original feel to it. The opposite of what Highguard just did. Highguard just stole elements from everyone else, slapped it together to make a game, and the game is completely worthless. I want this game to stand out for some reason, right?
It is a challenging game. You really have to earn that victory. And when you start...
Bave Lines just said, hey, a single-player exclusive studio making a multiplayer live service version of a game, what could go wrong? I know. That's never happened before or anything.
In a mission, you pick and prepare your hunter. Each has very different melee, range playstyles, and weapons. You can select between classes for each hunter that change their abilities, from tank to support or tactician. During a hunt, you can tinker with a roguelike build system. Every machine encounter you beat gives you powerful tactical options. You've got perks, weapon upgrade.
It's a roguelike, or a roguelite, where every run, you kill enemies to level up, you gain abilities, you gain weapons, and then eventually you're going to take on a big boss enemy. It's definitely Night Rain then. It's Night Rain. Only it's Night Rain with the Horizon universe attached to it. Okay? The Epic posted a $2 super chat saying, run the videos at 1.5 or 2 times speed? Oh, we could do that. Is that what everyone else does? I don't know. I'm new to this stuff. Should we do that? You want to run it at a faster speed? How do we do that? Would it be down here? Playback speed. Okay.
Various upgrades to your stats. In each run, you'll have to try and find the best possible combination of power-ups to take on the biggest machine. You'll be able to explore 4 large and very different environments at launch, each with its own look, its own atmosphere,
4 maps,
its own challenges for your squad to master. At the center of it all is a Hunter's Gathering. This is where you upgrade your gear, tweak your loadout, and team up for the next hunt. It is also just a fun place. For example, you can hang out in your own customizable campsite.
Oh, totally. This has never been in a game before or anything.
And then head back into the wilds.
Let's get out there.
Horizon Hunter's Gathering is all about challenge and mastery, and the missions that you go on lean right into that.
His shirt says music band. Is that supposed to be a reference to anything? Or is it supposed to be like a joke? It's like a generic shirt. I don't know if that's from anything.
During our first playtest, you'll get to try 2 very different mission types.
Let's show what we got.
Machine Incursion, you fight and stop a large-scale machine assault on the tribes.
Here we go.
With your squad, you plan and coordinate which randomized power-ups to collect.
So it's exactly like I said, it's Night Rain. 100% it's Night Rain. It's Night Rain with Horizon. Okay. Story? There's no story. Are you stupid? Here.
At launch, you'll be able to play the story campaign solo with NPCs or together in co-op, but that won't be part of the playtest. We want you to experience the story fresh when the game is ready. What we can say is that it's fully canon within the Horizon universe. It introduces new characters, new threats, and new mysteries that expand this part of the world.
Is anyone going to pay attention to the story? They're playing it for the gameplay loop, not for the story, right?
And the story doesn't stop at launch. We'll keep adding new adventures over time to the game.
To be fair, really, this all started with Warcraft, this art style. So this is Warcraft, World of Warcraft art style, then Overwatch bit it, then Fortnite bit it, and now everyone bites it, right?
We hope you've enjoyed your first look at Horizon Hunter's Gathering. We're beginning a journey, and we're inviting all of you. Though it's still early days, you can expect more regular development updates and playtest announcements from us in the coming months. To stay in the loop on all of the latest news about the game, we've launched a brand new Horizon Hunter's Gathering Discord and social channels. We'd love
When is it coming out? They don't know.
From all of us at Gorilla, thank you for
I guess they don't
joining us
know.
today. Horizon Hunter's Gathering is about taking on challenges together. We appreciate your help, and we're just getting started.
It just says wish list now. All right, so for the record, the signups for the beta or the playtest are open, and I already registered for it. So when they actually announce when it'll be, I should be notified if I got in on it. So I signed up for it. It seems like it would be something fun to do for a bit, But again, much like Night Rain, it seems like after a few runs or once you've seen every boss or you've seen every run, unless you're going to play with a dedicated team of like friends or whatever, I don't think it's going to do that well for me. But these games are popular. Night Rain did pretty good last year, and that was just a freaking asset flip of Elden Ring. This, at least, is not an asset flip. Remember, this is not Horizon. They had to change everything. This is definitely a different engine, you know? So, seems all right. Like, I'm not horrified at it. But at the same time, it's another of a certain type of game that's already out there. I guess it's to appease an audience that's looking for this style of gameplay loop and co-op gameplay online. And it's very much different than what they've done before. So how can it do? I don't know. How will it do? It's a good question. It's a big question mark, I feel. And we don't know yet how it's going to do. I guess we'll have to find out. Okay. There we go. All right, folks. Well, that was the second thing that I wanted to react to today. All right. Interesting. And like I said, I signed up for it. So I'm interested, you know, if and when that's going to come out. But there's actually something else that I want to react to today as well. If you don't remember, okay. Jay Kuma, by the way, says, where the hell is Killzone? Didn't they make the Killzone series? Yeah, but they killed it a million years ago. They killed Killzone when they had that one that flopped on PS4, right? What was it called? Killzone Shadowfall? It tanked. Like, it was a really not a very good game. So they just kind of just killed the whole series, and then they started working on Horizon, and then the rest is history. They're not going to make that anymore. What was I going to say? Oh, that's right. Sorry, I got distracted. So, a few months back, okay, last year, I played a really unique game, but it was really short. We only played it, I think it was one stream. We played this game, and we beat it already. And we had seen everything that the game had to offer. And we're like, wow, that was a really unique experience. Glad we did it. Move on, right? Now, a game like that, I feel, is going to become increasingly more prominent. What I mean by that is it's an indie game. It's a few bucks. You play it for like an hour, 2 hours. You've seen the whole game. You're done, and you move on. But hey, that was a fun experience. The indie game dev made a few bucks. They move on to their next project. In this case, something interesting and unique has happened. A filmmaker has decided that this game was so unique, they want to make a movie based on an incredibly short indie game. And you're going to see in this trailer, I didn't watch it yet, but I was thinking about it when I heard, oh, this is real. And I looked at it, I was like, you know, that makes sense. This might be a case where a game was so interesting in its execution, it could actually become an interesting movie. Okay? You ready to take a look at this? Because I don't think many people even know this was just announced this morning. Ready? Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes on this. Nah.
すいません。8番出口ってどこですか？
So one of the major differences here, if you don't remember, the game was not like set in Asia. The game, I don't know where it was set, but it wasn't set in Asia. And I guess it's in some, I don't know if where this is from. I don't know if it's Korean or something, but they're making it in an Asian country. So they basically made it to be in line with the culture and, you know, all the text and everything. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah. Anomalies. If you don't find an anomaly, don't turn back. Do not overlook any anomalies. So, for the record, if you didn't see me play the game or you didn't play it yourself, the game doesn't have all of these horror elements, okay? What the game is you're just walking through a subway and you have to find a discrepancy. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's creepy, but there's no gory horror elements like anything we just saw. It's just, oh, look, there's extra doors in the room, turn back. Oh, the lights are flickering, turn back, you know, stuff like that. Or like, yeah, the guy who's walking next to you, he looks different. Oh, okay, turn back. And then you'll keep getting to a higher level. There are a few things that are meant to be like creepy, but there's nothing that's outright horror. This looks like what they've done is they've taken the premise of the game and they turned it into a psychological horror where this guy is like, maybe he's crazy and he's being tortured by something in his past and it's coming out like, you know, in this movie, you see. So they've changed it to be different, but I think it actually works as a movie premise. I think it's actually a really good idea. Nah. See, that's not in the game. And all it says is coming soon. Oh, she was underage? Uh-oh. Jordy. Come on, man. All right, anyway. Anyway, so that looks pretty interesting. Like, that, to me, that's taking an indie game, and let's be honest, if a filmmaker, like, contacted the indie game dev, and they're like, hey, I want the rights to your game, they're probably like, yeah, sure. It's not a complex game. I didn't spend a lot of money on it. Sure, you could have the rights. You know, and they just sold it for some money, and then boom. Next thing you know, there's a movie coming out based on a horror game or a indie game that now they're turning it into like a horror movie, which is pretty crazy. So that was cool. All right. Now, I know other things as well had trailers released today. What I want to do for the next part of the show is just to open up the chat to Q&A. And if you guys have any recommendations or suggestions of something that you want to talk about or you want me to react to, now would be the time. But I don't want the show to go late today. I do want to end the show within the next, like, half hour tops because I want to get to Dragon Quest. Okay, I don't want to have this go too long. But there was so much that went down. You just saw the stuff we reacted to. I definitely wanted to do a podcast today to cover this stuff. Okay? What is Primate? I don't know what that is. It's a killer monkey movie. It is. So, FYI, the schedule for today after this podcast, we're going to play Dragon Quest VII Reimagined for a major stream, about 3 hours of gameplay, fingers crossed. Tonight, we're trying out the game Hellmart, the real game, not the demo that I played a couple days ago, but the full game that has full-fledged features, better graphics and tweaks. It's been basically like improved upon from the demo. We're going to give it a night stream tonight. I've heard the game's only 4 to 6 hours long, so we're going to try it tonight and see how it goes. Hopefully it goes well. Thank you to Boom Arms Defeat DSP for the gifted over on Kick. I appreciate that. Feeling the love this morning. Thank you so much. Let's get that on the leaderboard. Zexy Warlock did a $2 super chat saying, do you think that you could help Wings work out? No, I couldn't. I don't. Listen, never in my life have I been anywhere near remotely the weight that Wings of Redemption is. The heaviest I ever was around 240 pounds. That's a full 200 pounds lighter than what he is. I wouldn't know the first thing on how to help him or like what would be a safe workout or anything. He'd have to talk to a fitness professional about that, not me. I can't help that guy with that stuff. Okay. Adventures of Elliot. Oh, wait, that was the first super chat. That's Zexy Warlock. What a name. Let's get that on the leaderboard. I didn't put that on there. That was $1.99. Okay. Cool. So what is this? Tales of Adventures of Ellie. I'm just going to look this up and see what it is. 5 hours ago. It must have just had a trailer released. Okay. Okay. From Square Enix. Oh, okay.
Run, Elliot!
Dead.
Oh, come on! Keep wishing!
Dead.
You want to live, right?
Oh, God. Why? Oh, the voice. Grating voice.
The things I must do. Please, bring me back to life.
Brand new action RPG HD 2D.
Elliot and the Fairy Fae adventure across Philadelphia.
Can you mute the fairy?
4 ages, spanning 1,000 years, to lift a curse on Princess Huria. Elliot's home time, the age of safekeeping.
But the kingdom is utterly dependent on the princess and her spell of safekeeping now.
It is true that she bears a heavy burden.
Seems decent.
Age of reconstruction, when humans cower in the shadows of ruin.
I wonder what the gameplay is like, though.
Their will, too. I want the world to prosper again.
Humanity's height of prosperity in the age of magic.
This is Wayzen, the nation of magic. Magical research is the backbone of the society.
Which is all the more reason it must be done right.
In the age of budding, the birth of human civilization.
I want only peaceful coexistence. I have never sought power.
Philadelphia's history is woven by the emotions of its inhabitants. Those emotions at times hope for the future.
I want to see what the combat is, though. We're coming up to that. Yeah, I can't. It's hard to tell. Like, what the heck is the combat? I can't tell yet. They're like, we're 2 minutes in. It doesn't really show anything. Oh, here we go. So it's action based.
You still.
Oh, you know what this? You know what this reminds me of? Secret of Mana. That's totally what this reminds me of. Secret of Mana. 100%.
To save us all.
Please, you have to live.
Let's go, Faye.
Yeah.
To save Huria and the kingdom.
So they made a modern day Secret of Mana, only with obviously, you know, more elaborate graphics and stuff. Okay. It's interesting. When's it coming out? June 18th. It's a Switch 2. It's a maybe. That's a maybe. I don't know if you guys would be into watching me play something like that. Like, I probably would. Whoa. Feeling the love really there. I probably would enjoy that. But I don't know if that's something that the audience would enjoy. I'm going to put that on the calendar regardless, Adventures of Elliot, because that's something that would be up my alley, but that doesn't mean that it's going to work for a playthrough. June 18th, right? Switch 2 exclusive, but I mean, it certainly doesn't need a very powerful engine to run the 2D HD style game. So, there you go. Oh, that was the other one, Turok Origins. Let's watch that, and that'll be it for today. That's a brand new one, too. Turok Origins had a trailer drop today. It's just funny, the day that I decided not to do a podcast, like a ridiculous amount of stuff dropped. Like out of nowhere. Here it is, 4 hours ago. Whoa. Very red.
Journey to the Lost Lands. Become a legendary Turok warrior in this intergalactic action shooter. To stop an alien threat from destroying all human life, you'll journey solo or with a team of warriors online and battle all sorts of primal creatures in.
Right off the bat, they start running and it's like this really like weird animation that's like not very animated at all. It looks like they gotta stick up their butts as they're running. Like
ferocious combat. Swap between first-person and third-person perspectives as you unleash weapons.
What's funny is this reminds me of like an N64 era game, but what's hilarious is that that's actually when the Turok series started. The original Turok was on N64. I owned it. And then later on, they spun off more games and stuff. But that's funny because it looks like you're still on N64.
Melee attacks and special abilities to devastate foes. Extract DNA from fallen enemies and the environment to upgrade your arsenal, evolve your mantle, and unlock even more abilities called Echo Sinks to gain a greater edge in combat. As you venture across
no one's firing any weapons. Did you notice that? Every scene is just an ability or walking. Why is no one firing a gun?
Taking worlds, you'll unravel the mysteries that ultimately hold the key to saving humanity.
Someone fire a gun. Fire the bow. Fire the weapon.
Turok Origins launches on Nintendo Switch.
It's a shooter, right? Did anyone ever fire a weapon? Look, use an axe. He's aiming. He didn't fire.
Intergalactic action shooter.
I don't think he didn't fire. Look, no one's firing any weapons in the whole trailer.
Or with a team of warriors online.
They made a shooter game trailer where no one shoots. What the fuck is it? No one ever fired a weapon. What is this, the pacifist Turok? That's not much of a dinosaur hunter. What just happened? Yo, we've had the wildest day. We saw a dinosaur survival horror game that was focused more on a teen thinking about J-pop music than surviving, making stupid jokes about running on a treadmill, and now we have a Turok game where no one fires a gun. What is going on right now with gaming? I'm so confused. Well, I wonder if I'm the only one who made that observation. Literally, we watched a 1-minute trailer with no guns. All right. Anyway, I think that's enough reacting. That was a good level of reacting, though. I'm happy that we did the podcast today. Cool. Let's see here. I got a $1 tip. Why not try Adventures of Elliot demo on tomorrow's marathon? It's about an hour of content. Oh, I didn't know there was a... oh, my nose itches. I didn't know there was a demo. I'll put that into our list for tomorrow. You guys will vote on it. Sure. I'll put that into our list for the marathon and see if you guys want me to play it or not. So, Adventures of Elliot demo. Let's see here. Hellmart. We're playing Hellmart today. I'll remove that from the list for tomorrow. We got a good amount of stuff for tomorrow, including Marvel Cosmic Invasion, Return of Obra Dinn, Trepang 2, Curiosity, Pacific Drift, Total Chaos, Adventures of Elliot demo, DayZ, Mountain Blade 2, Bannerlord, Ire Lung, Fierce to Fathom, and Deadlock. So that's a good variety of stuff to possibly check out tomorrow on the marathon. I hope you guys will be here to vote and see what we end up playing. Of course, I'll be buzzed while we're doing it, so that's going to be fun. Okay. Cool. All right, so what would you guys like to talk about for the rest of the show, like 10, 15 minutes, and then we're going to get set up and we're going to do about an hour of Dragon Quest and take a break and then do like another 2 hours. So, yeah, what's on your minds? Oh, I'm aware DayZ is incredibly PvP heavy. I'm not saying I'm committing to playing these games. I'm going to try them, you know. Where's Jasper Kitty? He is probably out in the hallway right now because I hear my wife taking a shower, and he probably is like running around the upstairs hallway because he likes to be near us no matter what. So he's going to probably be running around the floor waiting for one of us to come out of a room. Was I a DC or a Marvel guy growing up? Marvel. I was into X-Men comics and then Spider-Man comics. And then I started getting into DC around the death of Superman. So I read the 4 Superman Return saga. And then I read a little bit of Batman, and that was about it. Then I kind of grew out of comics and stopped reading. There's a few other, like I read some Image comics like Spawn and stuff like that too. I wish there was more information on the Steam Machine. Like for me, there were 3 announcements by Valve last year. They said Steam Machine, Steam Controller, and that new Steam VR device, which I forget the name of, right? Out of those, I'm most interested in the Steam VR controller. Not the VR controller, excuse me, the Steam controller. For those who don't know, so what the Steam controller does is it takes a standard controller format, but it turns it into a touchpad. So it's like touchpads here, thumbsticks here. It looks unique. And if it works, it means that you could basically play like an RTS game or a game that would really be designed only for PC controls, like with a mouse, and you could play it with a pad. So to me, that looks like something that could be revolutionary. That could actually change the way that many games are played and have a lot of games that previously were only kind of accessible with mouse and keyboard to now be played in a different way. And I think that's really cool. Steam Machine is interesting because it's kind of that hybrid entry-level kind of price point deal where if it's cheap enough, you could have a lot of people who previously wanted to play PC games now have them be accessible if they're not ported to consoles, right? So that's kind of cool too. But what ended up happening was, you know, there's no release date yet. There's no pricing announcement yet. There was an update. I think they had interviewed someone at Valve yesterday, and they said they are still attempting to get Steam Machine and all this stuff to come out within the first quarter / first half of 2026. But I think it's because of the hardware issues going on right now, the pricing of RAM and availability and things like that, that they haven't been able to really lock it down yet. So, yeah, it was supposed to already have been announced, priced, and pre-ordered and everything, and it just hasn't happened yet. But, I mean, obviously, I want to cover it. I'm interested in it. I don't think I'm buying a Steam Machine. What would I do with one? But I'm definitely interested in, like, a Steam controller or something like that. Okay. Any plans to play Invincible Versus when it drops? Likely, yes, I will check it out. I'm not saying I'm going to love it because it's a modern I said modern RPG. It's a modern fighting game, which means a lot of button mashing and auto combos and just kind of boring gameplay, but I'll still probably give it a try. I agree. The $700 price point for Steam Machine, I think would be cheap enough that you'd still have people who are like more casualized gamers who would want to buy it, but it would be powerful enough to play most PC games, so it would be that perfect middle ground. That's what I'm thinking, but we don't know what's going to happen with this thing. What's up, Game Boy? How are you, man? Good to see you. Yes, I've heard many good things about the Iron Lung movie, and I actually want to see it. Like, I just made the recommendation yesterday. I said, Markiplier needs to do everything in his power possible to get that on demand digitally as soon as possible. Because the word on the street is the movie is good, but his audience is very digital. You know what I'm saying? Like, his audience is very, hey, we watch everything online. If he gets that digital within like the next month, I think that guy will make a ridiculous fortune of money. But he needs to do it right away, and we don't know what his distribution rights deal was to get this in theaters. So he may have his hands tied, and it might be like several months before he can get this digital. That kind of sucks. Like, I would watch it. I said this yesterday. I would literally right now watch the movie digital. If it was $20, I'd pay $20 to see it because I'm very interested in it. I want to see what he did, and everyone says it's good, so I want to watch it. I would pay $20 to see his movie right now if I could get it on demand. But right now it's theaters only. I'm glad to have you here, Sergeant. Chocolate Coco says, happy to catch some of the podcast before you start Dragon Quest. We're just about done. We did all the reacting we wanted to do. It was a lot. That was good. See what I mean? Like, that's why I like having this flexibility and control over my schedule. If there's a day that there's a lot going on, let's do a podcast out of nowhere. If there's a day when there's nothing going on, let's just chill and do a morning show and then, move on. Tomorrow there'll be neither, because tomorrow we're doing the marathon, so we're not doing either. We're just going to hang out all day. Why not just go to a theater with my wife and see Iron Lung? Number one, because my wife doesn't really like horror movies. Number two, because it's way too expensive. Number three, because I work too much to go to the theaters and I don't care to go there. I just want to watch it on demand in my free time. There you go. Yes, the Iron Lung movie is based on the game, supposedly. Okay, is that it? Are we good? I just want to be sure that I've answered every question. I've covered every topic because we're going to jump into Dragon Quest and, we're going to be focusing on the game. So for the record, Dragon Quest 7 starts in just a few moments here, I guess. And I love Dragon Quest. I've played many of these games in my own free time and I love them. I played Dragon Quest 11 when it was a brand new release years ago. Absolutely loved it. Like I said earlier on this show, one of my favorite playthroughs I've ever done in my history as a YouTuber. I really would like to play Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined as a full playthrough on DSPGaming. But to make that happen, I need three things from you. I need you to show up to the streams. I need you to engage with the streams. And I need you to support the streams. Okay? I know that's a tall order and that's a big ask for any lengthy RPG, particularly a turn-based Japanese style one. It seems like it's almost like pulling teeth to get people to show up, engage, and support these streams. But I love this genre of game. I grew up playing them with games like Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, Earthbound, and more. And I would like nothing more than to make an awesome playthrough with all of you that's interactive, that's fun, all right? But I need that level of commitment because if I play it today and it does okay, and then I go to play it next week, and that stream we have 100 less viewers and no one's talking and there's no support, then I can't play this game. Okay, so, case in point, Metaphor. Metaphor is a game that I played the beta/demo of, and it was like a long demo. Like, you could beat the demo in like 5 hours, but if you did all the side content, the demo was like 13 hours long. So I played like 10 to 12 hours into it, and by the end of me playing the demo, okay, I had almost no one on stream. Everyone on stream was ignoring the game, and people were begging me to not play it. And I was like, are you for real? Like, I love this game. I think this would be like game of the year. And people were like, no, don't play it. So I didn't. And now, here we are a year plus later. And I really feel like I missed out on one of the best games in a long time. And there's nothing I can do about it because I have to play what my audience wants. You understand? This is not me just streaming for a hobby. This is my livelihood. This is how I make a living and I support my family. All right, I need to be streaming things that people will show up for, engage, and support. So I need to be sure I'm playing the right stuff, okay? That's why when I play Call of Duty and I make $20 on the Call of Duty stream, despite the fact that I've played the game and done incredibly well in it, I make the executive decision and say, okay, fair enough. You've told me through your actions you don't want Call of Duty. Let's move on. Okay? And let's move on and do something different that's worth everyone's time and that you guys will be here to support. Okay? So it's going to be the same situation here. I want to play Dragon Quest VII. I'm making this known up front, as transparent and clear as possible. I love turn-based RPGs. I want to play Dragon Quest VII. Okay? I want to. So please be here for it and support it when I'm playing it so we can keep playing it and keep it in the rotation. If right off the bat everything falls off, then I can't. It's just matter-of-fact simple. It doesn't matter what Reddit says. I don't give a fuck about those losers. This is how things work when you make a living on the internet and you're not a giant streamer who has the freedom to just do whatever you want. I don't. I have to go with what you guys will be here and support. So let's see how it goes today. This will be a test case for it. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it goes well. Like, really, I want it to go well, and I'm going to do my best to entertain you and have a great stream. But I can't make you like a game you don't like. Okay? I really tried with Call of Duty. It didn't work. So what can I do, right? I just, you know? Okay. So, if you like today's stream, do what you can to support it. Like the stream. Give the stream a like right now if you're sitting watching and you're saying, this is good content. Okay? Engage. Talk with me when I'm playing. Let's have good interactions while I'm playing this game today. And by all means, support the stream. Let's get some super chats, some tips, some subs. Let's get it flowing so that I know that this is something that I can keep doing. All right? That's simple. Okay. Exactly nothing here. He says, if enough people are here and they support it, keep going. If move on, it's simple. Nothing here. It's simple to you. It's simple to me. It's not simple to these simpletons on the internet. They actually think that, like, that's a bad idea. Well, wait. You're doing something on a stream. Your stream is your business. No one's liking it. No one's supporting it. You should keep doing it? No. But to some people, they're that dumb. Some people still think that I'm poor. I'm not shitting you. They only watch the out-of-context clip where, like, you know, I'm playing Call of Duty. I'm like, well, I guess you guys don't want it because no one's supporting it. I guess we'll move on, and that's it for Call of Duty. And they go, he's a poor streamer who's e-begging. Literally, that's not what happened at all. It was an informed business decision and something smart to do to move on from something people didn't want and do something better. And that's what I have to constantly be doing. You see what I'm saying? That's how it works, right? That is true. Emperor Ferb said, you asked me for $5 last night when I saw you at BK. That is correct. I did try to steal a $5 off of Ferb's, but he said no. That's very upsetting that I had to spend my own money to get the Burger King. Thank you, Real Huge Asshole, for auto resubbing. I appreciate the auto resub. You're not here, so you can't hear me thank you, but I do still appreciate it regardless. Thank you, Real Huge Asshole, for supporting over on Kick. I appreciate that. All right, I think it's time to end the show. Good show. There will not be another podcast till Sunday because tomorrow is our marathon. So I hope you'll come by tomorrow for a big variety of fun. All right. Thank you guys very much for a great show. I really enjoyed reacting to all that stuff. So, thank you for watching the Level 1 podcast. I'll be back on Sunday to cover whatever topics come up. I'll get you caught up on my time off and more. But in the meantime, I want to thank you all for being here and chilling with me for this react-a-thon. And I'll see you soon. Peace out, everybody. Bye-bye.